on Saturdays. We're going to do it as often as we can. So anyway, the first thing I want to talk about is exciting for us, probably not as exciting for you, but it's because of you. It's because of you awesome, beautiful people that Emily and I reached the milestone of 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yep. I'll tell you what, that was harder than I thought it was going to be. It is like not easy. It's not easy to start a cruise channel and make all this happen. It took a long time, like a couple of years, a year and a half, couple of years, something like that. Some of the other social medias, it's a little bit easier to build up your following a little bit faster. But YouTube, they make it hard. It's thrilling for us because we like having eyeballs on the content that we make. We like knowing that people are interested and that we're doing things right. So thank you. If you subscribed, thank you. If you haven't subscribed, for crying out loud, we need to hit 20,000 now.
Exactly. Help us get to the next level.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you guys have questions during this live stream about really anything or anything that we're talking about, especially things that are cruise related, but if you have questions about like the process of making YouTube videos and making cruise content and all that kind of stuff, we'd be happy to talk about that. It is something we talk about with each other way too often.
That's right. So we need to get some fresh dialogue in on this conversation.
We do. We do. And if you have any ideas for us, throw them out there. We love ideas.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are going to talk today about Caribbean cruise ports. If you love cruising, you probably don't just take Alaska cruises. You probably get to the Caribbean. That's, the popular place to go cruising.
That's the most popular spot to cruise.
Most popular cruise destination is just all over the Caribbean. It's tropical paradise. The weather is like, what is it, usually like 80, 81 degrees year round in the Caribbean. The water's perfect, and it's not perfect, but it's pretty close.
Pretty close.
It's pretty close to perfect.
Yeah. In fact, I can't remember how many exactly it was, cruise ships that launched in 2025, but all but 2 of them are getting home ported somewhere so that they can cruise in the Caribbean, getting home ported in Florida so they can cruise in the Caribbean. So I think that just goes to show how popular it is.
Absolutely.
So,
So we're going to, by the end of this thing, we're going to tell you what our favorite Caribbean cruise port is. I'd love to hear what your favorite Caribbean cruise port is and why. But let's jump in. And so we're just going to go through a list here of Caribbean cruise ports that we have visited, which we're lucky enough to have visited quite a few. And we're just going to give you our opinion and talk a little bit about them. So we're going to start off with CocoCay. Perfect day at CocoCay.
Yeah. Royal Caribbean's private island.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, so it is, if you've booked a Royal Caribbean cruise, you've probably gotten that advertisement where they kind of show the flyover with a drone of the private island. And honestly, it's like very true to that flyover. It's very colorful. It's got those bright Caribbean colors. They're not really neon, but like that bright pink, bright green colors. Very tropical feeling. And, they've got a big tower where they have the zip line that goes across. They've got several different swimming pools and swimming areas. Some pools, some like coves that you can swim in. They've got several different sections where you can rent a private cabana. When we went there, this was getting built, but they now have, is it Hideaway Bay? I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Hideaway Bay, which is the, super exclusive, private area that you have to pay to get into.
We never go to the private area.
Yeah, we don't go to that.
That's way above our pay grade for sure.
Yeah.
We walk past it and look over at it and see what the people on the other side are doing there. But CocoCay, I'm gonna say, is like top 5 for me. I absolutely love CocoCay. I saw I don't know, the beach at CocoCay is so pure. It's just so pure. You'd think it would get polluted with the thousands of cruise people coming in every day, but that water was just
the water
so
was
good.
Really
it's so saline. It's this amazing shade of blue.
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot of people coming off the cruise ship, there's usually plenty of beach. You're not feeling super crowded. I will say at CocoCay, something annoying did happen. We were sitting on, they provide sun loungers, and we're out there. We found a spot on the beach, away from, there was other people around, but kind of had our own little space.
Crowds. Yeah.
And this couple comes down, and they sit like 3 sun loungers down from us, and they pull out a Bluetooth speaker and they start blasting their music,
Yeah.
which is against the rules. But it just really annoyed me. It like
Yeah.
kind of ruined my experience. And I know that some people are like, just get into it or try to enjoy the music or whatever. It's just like, no, I didn't want to listen to music. I wanted to listen to the water. I wanted to listen to the wildlife. I wanted to have a conversation with my family and friends. And so that was kind of annoying. But CocoCay in general, here's the experience. You get there, you have all the free food that you want, and it's pretty good food.
And it's in several different spots around the island. It's not like on some of them where it's just one spot you can get it. I think they have 3 different areas that you can get.
You can go get.
Yeah.
You can just
And
walk
drinks.
up and get whatever you want, which is a nice thing. And you have pristine beach. And then if you want the VIP experience, like Emily was talking about, you can spend large amounts of money on those private areas.
Yeah.
If you're traveling with a big group, maybe that's the way to
Maybe it's
go.
worth it.
CocoCay is great.
As far as that goes, though, I will say at CocoCay, they have like several levels of cabanas that you can rent. So, you can get the ultra expensive ones, but then there's some that are just like, they only ask for 1 arm instead of, an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to say top 5 CocoCay
Yeah.
for me. Do you? I daydream about CocoCay.
Well, we'll get to the one that I would prefer to go to if we were going to go back to a private island. We'll get there.
I hear you.
But,
I hear you on that.
And Joe knows what I'm talking about.
All right,
let me just say one more thing about CocoCay that I really appreciated was that more than any other private resort, island type vibe like that, not like a town, but like an island, the walkways were really nice. Like it was really paved, smooth walkways. So, if you are you just want to stroll out there and not have to worry about bumping over anything or navigating like dirt paths, CocoCay, it's like very smooth and paved. So yeah, that's a good thing for accessibility.
All right, the next place we're going to talk about is literally my least favorite port. And can any of you guess it? We don't have that many people right now, but if you can guess my least favorite port, it's a lot of people's least favorite port, I think.
Well, and that's funny because I think it might be the top port, or at least in the top 5 ports of where a cruises go to in the Caribbean. So yeah, if anybody got a clue there.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Nobody knows how to pronounce it, but
it's Nassau. It's
Nassau.
Nassau. We've been to Nassau a lot.
5 times, I think.
Times?
5 or
Yeah,
6
we've
times.
been to Nassau a lot.
Yeah, 6 times.
We actually didn't get off the boat once.
Yep.
Off the ship once when we went to Nassau, and it's because it's not that great. You know what? Here's the deal though. Last time we
did
went
figure
to
out the
Nassau,
secret.
we did figure out the secret. So when you go to Nassau, the first time you go to Nassau, what everybody does is they, at least a lot of people, they walk into the town area because there's actually a lot of things going on in Nassau. And if you like straw markets, they do have a great straw market. You can get cool crafty
like trinkets and crafts and stuff.
It probably was all made in China, but it's
90% of it.
It's actually kind of cool. But they are they being the Nassau people that own those shops, at least in some cases, are really aggressive. It's also really there's just like a vibe of
They're just really trying to separate you from your money. It's like that's the only
there's
goal.
no
That's what I
there's
feel
not
like.
a lot of friendliness or
Yeah.
authenticity in
Yeah.
with the thing. It's just
Like they're just sizing you up at all times, just being like, okay, how much can I get from that person?
and they will try to flatter you.
yeah,
But you can tell it's fake. They
Yeah,
try
it's
to
so
flatter you in a fake way, and that's the worst. I think it's
Yeah.
like when somebody's pretending to be nice to you, and you really just kind of sense that.
yeah.
That's a big turnoff. So like the city part of Nassau isn't great. It's just not.
No.
But we did. There's a few beaches, and so Junkanoo Beach is right there. You can walk to Junkanoo Beach from the ship. That is okay. It's an okay beach.
Yeah.
It's crowded. It's a little bit polluted.
Yeah. It gets crowded because everybody is going there. But, if you are willing to go there a little bit later in the day and, just walk quickly back to the port at the end of the day, like the last 2 hours before the ship leaves, that place just clears out. There's like nobody there. So, yeah, if you just want to swim at the end of the day, that's a great spot. But if you want to swim a little bit more,
if you want to swim, enjoy a beach day, like not being bombarded by other people and salespeople, and a really
Really
beautiful
beach.
beautiful beach
Yeah.
is Cabbage Beach. It can, I think, get crowded at times,
Yeah.
but not anything like Jungle
But
Beach.
it's so long. Like if you're willing to walk, you can just keep walking, and then you're gonna get to a spot where it's not crowded.
The thing is,
So,
you got to. It's not right off the port. You have
Yeah.
to. It's what, like a 15-20 minute ride.
Yeah.
And you can, if you go when everybody else is going, you can get the group rate, which is only like $5 a person.
Yeah, it's pretty
which
cheap.
is pretty cheap. But if you go, maybe you slept in and you are kind of wanting to go when nobody else is wanting to go, and you have to get a private driver, it's going to be $20.
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
bucks a person to get there. So. If you're trying to save a little bit of money, you got to go with the group
Try
and
to
kind of
get
come
up
back with
earlier.
the group.
Yeah.
But Cabbage Beach makes Nassau worth it. So our recommendation for Nassau, we should stop talking about it because it's just not that great. But it can be great. Just skip the city part of it.
Yeah.
Get
In our
on-
opinion.
Exactly, and get over to Cabbage Beach and have a great beach day. We like that's what our favorite part of cruising is just like
Getting out on the beaches.
getting out on the beaches,
We-
doing some swimming, some snorkeling, and So
The beaches in Minnesota just don't compare to the Caribbean beaches. So
if you like to shop, the Curtis family, hello there, I just made a homemade salad. Should I tip my refrigerator?
You better, or it might just, might run out of the kitchen.
We're going to be known for the tipping thing.
I think so, yeah.
And yes, you should tip your refrigerator and the people that made your refrigerator.
Yeah. Don't tip it over, though.
Yeah, don't tip over the refrigerator. That's good advice. Anyway, so Nassau, go to Cabbage Beach if you like beaches. If you like to shop, go to
You're
the straw
set.
market.
I mean,
go to the straw market.
The straw market probably the best. Actually, they just if you haven't been to Nassau in the last year and a half, they just totally revamped the port area, and now they have shops within the port area, before you go out on the street. So if you just want to stay in those sanctioned shops, there's plenty of variety there actually. So and they all have AC pumping out, and
So I've got I'm gonna group two ports together because they're both Dominican Republic ports.
Okay.
And it's Puerto Plata and Amber Cove. Sorry, I couldn't resist pre-paid gratuity. You guys are great. Puerto Plata and Amber Cove are both in the Dominican Republic. And they both have a similar setup, although I think Puerto Plata is a little bit better.
Definitely
But
better.
basically, you get off the ship and you walk into this mecca of shops. You can do some shopping. And it's got they both have giant pools.
Mm-hmm. It's like a little village just for the cruise passengers.
Just for the cruise passengers. So this isn't, you're in Dominican Republic, but you're kind of in an isolated area that only cruise passengers can go in. You get a sense of the Dominican Republic in there, but it's kind of like an Americanized.
It's just like a resort.
It's like a resort.
It's like a resort.
Exactly what
Yeah.
it is. It's like a resort area. So I actually, when I travel, I like to get a little bit of culture, no doubt about it. But I've come around on these resort areas. Some ports I go for the culture. Some ports I go for the resortness of it. And Puerto Plata and Amber Cove I have embraced, just like not worrying about going out into the actual cities in Dominican Republic, because honestly in some cases they can be dangerous. They're places where unfortunately things aren't as stable as what we're used to in America.
And let's talk about that actually, because in Puerto Plata, if you do want to go out, which we did one of the times we were there, you can walk out into the port area and you're immediately, it felt like at the time, it kind of felt like we were accosted by these tour guides, and they were like, hey, do you want to take a ride in my taxi? I'll give you a tour. Do you want to take a walking tour? And we're just like, no, we just want to walk. And this one guy just kept following us. And I was just like, Joe, get rid of him. I don't want to be followed everywhere.
I asked him to stop following us.
He did. And it turns out those guys, the walking tour guides at least, they are paid for by the city or the government. They're paid employees. And they're there to basically guard the tourists, just to kind of make sure they don't go to a dangerous part of town. And you can tip them if you want, but there's no charge. It is literally free. They will take you, if you, like we mentioned, it's we've heard about the amber here, and like he immediately is like, okay, let's take you to the amber museum. Why don't you buy some amber? But,
there's a little bit of give and take. Like
pro quo, is that what it's called?
They'll take you to places where they'll take you to shops where they have something worked out with the shop owner where they're going to get a cut if you buy something.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was a good thing to have His name was Leonardo. He actually is that memorable. I remember his name. He was a good guy, actually.
He was, yeah.
And he told us a little bit about the city. And honestly, I was a little bit naive when we went there. This was a few years ago. And
it was on one of our first cruises.
And the Dominican Republic, you should be with somebody that knows the area and can tell you, don't go down that street.
Yeah.
Don't go over there. So anyway... Yeah, so there is interesting things if you want to set foot in the city, but if you don't want to take those kind of chances and you're on a cruise and you just want to relax, Puerto Plata and Amber Cove have these great resort areas, giant pools, drinks right next to the pools. Like Amber Cove has a bar you can sit at in the pool. Literally. So yeah, it's really relaxing. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm just going to tell you really quick. I'm like a pretty light drinker. I drink occasionally, but... when I go to these resorts, I like to drink a little bit, and so I got a Tito's and tonic to start the story. We're walking to the pool area. We're just planning on having a couple of drinks. I'm gonna have Emily drinks. We're gonna get in the pool and enjoy the day. I stop like halfway to the pool at just a little hut where we sat down at a table. And we wanted to try out these metal straws, the collapsible metal straws.
Yeah, they're so cool. I'll put a link in the description if you haven't seen them. They're like these travel straws.
It's an affiliate opportunity. Yep. You can help out our channel by getting some straws. They are really great. So anyway, we stop and I get a drink at this stand, and my normal drink is just a Tito's and tonic, and or a Tito's and diet. I don't remember which one I got, but the guy, I bought it and I said, I'll take a double. And he poured the bottle he emptied out half the bottle. The glass was huge and he emptied out like, maybe not half the bottle. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but it was like 6 shots. It was like a 6-shot drink and a little bit of either tonic or Coke in there. And he's like, okay, that'll be $35. I was like, holy crap, that's an expensive drink. But in the end, it was maybe fair or a good deal. And man, I had a great day.
We started that day, so they have a lazy river at Puerto Plata, and we started that day, and Joe's like, I don't want to do the lazy river, that seems lame. And then I finally got him going. He was like, let's do it again.
After that drink, I was willing to do anything. It no longer,
So now I know the secret.
And we had a blast. But yeah, man, they make those drinks strong in Puerto Plata. Oh my gosh. It was super fun though. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, anyway, I don't usually talk much about my drinking, but that particular day, it just really, it was just really fun. So, all right, so that was Amber Cove and Puerto Plata. That is like top 10 for me for sure. I mean, that's like, I don't know. They're all such great times and great memories. It's hard to pick that top one. I do have a top one.
I would say I would rather go back to Puerto Plata than Amber Cove, though.
What about you guys? Do you guys have a favorite Caribbean cruise port? We've got some new people in here. Let us know in the comments, and soon we're going to tell you what ours is.
And if you have any questions about any of these ports, like if you're looking for something to do, if you were wondering if you can do a particular thing at one of these ports, just ask us in the comments, and we will answer if we can.
Or the next two we're going to talk about is St. Croix and St. Martin. Not to be confused with St. Martin, right? St. Martin is different. It's,
no, well, yeah, they are different because one of them, but it's the same island. St. Martin it's the north and south thing.
Hey, man,
St. Thomas, yeah, St. Thomas is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's what we're getting to next, right?
Soon, soon.
But so starting with St. Croix and St. Martin.
St. Croix and St. Martin are. I get the two confused, honestly, but they're both great. Which is the one that? Which is the one that was the most crowded day in
Oh,
history.
that's right. Yeah, it was literally there were so many people there. It was
It was like
Saint Martin.
It was
And
Saint
then
Martin.
and then we got
It was like 7 cruise ships.
yeah, that's right. And when we got home, my mom was like, "Oh, I just read in the paper that that Saint Martin had its most crowded day, and there was I don't remember how
And it
many
was the day we were
thousands."
there.
And it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, it was pretty crowded." Apparently, it's not always like that. But it was cool because where you dock in Saint Martin, you can walk. You have the option. You can walk, and it's just this long beach. Like the part right next to the port isn't really a beach, but you get around that curve, and it's this long beach that just keeps curving around. And so you just keep walking and walking, and then eventually you've walked farther than everybody else was willing to walk. If you're looking for space, or if you don't care about that, then there's places right there. There's like a boardwalk with restaurants. Kind of back from the beach, so because there's a boardwalk, it's not as sandy, or you can walk along the beach, and then there's these servers that have designated sections of the beach where you can get in a couple of chairs with an umbrella, and they'll just come bring you drinks, bring you food, bring you whatever you want, basically.
Yeah.
And
it's good food.
Yeah, and it's good food, and it wasn't horribly expensive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much. I think it was maybe $25
I think
for the chairs and the umbrella.
2 umbrellas or 2 chairs and an umbrella,
Yeah.
and like a 6-pack was like $25.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad at all. The vibe there was great.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is we didn't know it was the most crowded day till we got back, and in hindsight there was a lot of people there. We had to walk way down the beach, but despite it being the most crowded day ever,
we might have to
another
talk about tipping a little bit.
We'll talk about tipping in just a little bit. We'll come back to that comment. But yeah, so what was great is, like Emily just said, if you walked far enough, you could go to a place where there wasn't a lot of people, and there was still some folks that were happy to bring you food and drinks and rent you an umbrella and chairs. So
yeah, and Wi-Fi. I'm pretty sure they had Wi-Fi.
And they had
access.
Wi-Fi. I
Yeah.
remember taking a picture of the code or whatever.
Yeah.
So. And then St. Croix, another beautiful location. That one was kind of cool because we like to take walks. We like to take a little walk around the area and just kind of feel out the the locals. And we were able to walk, I don't know, was it about a mile down to a beach area?
Yeah, it was probably a mile or maybe a little bit more, but not too bad.
And the day we were there, we've only been to St. Croix once. It was raining, but we still ended up having a really fun day. And we actually got in the water. It wasn't raining super hard. We actually got in the water.
Just kind of drizzling.
And just kind of floated in this little cove beach area. It was super nice.
And then the swells, because I don't know if because of the storm or what, but it was just like so gentle, but like big swells, but really gentle, and you could just float on that. It was fun. Really cool.
All right, let's go to Labadee, the other Royal Caribbean.
No, St. Thomas.
Oh, St. Thomas?
I thought St. Thomas was next.
Well, we can't do that one quite yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry to the Curtis family. We'll get there.
Oh, can we not do Labadee because
we can do
you know what? Let's just put our favorites out there.
Okay.
I don't even know what yours is, but mine is St. Thomas. So Curtis family, I'm with you. That's why I kind of didn't know what to say when you put that up. St. Thomas is my favorite Caribbean cruise port. A lot of people disagree with that. I've come to find out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And the reason is there's a place called. Number one, the vibe is really cool. Number two, I'm a jazz music fan, and Sonny Rollins is famous for a song called St. Thomas. And I just love that song, and I have it going through my head when I'm there. And
but there was actually a saxophone player there once when we visited, and he didn't know it.
I was like, "Can you play St. Thomas?" He's like, I don't know. Yeah. He was a cool guy though. But anyway, cool. Is it Hidden Beach or
I thought it was Secret Beach.
Secret Beach or Hidden Beach. It's like a 25 minute
drive.
Wild car taxi ride because
it was actually not that wild. Remember, compared to the first one we did.
Yeah, St. Thomas taxi drivers are crazy.
They are insane.
They're freaking crazy. Yeah. That's part of the adventure though, and it is fun.
And they drive. Do they drive on the wrong side of the road? Is that right?
I can't remember.
I think that's one of the islands that they drive on the other side of the road.
Yeah. Anyway, if you go to St. Thomas, and I hate to give it away, but Secret Beach or Hidden Beach, I can't remember. Go there. It's it's going to cost you like $15-$20 to get there and back, but it's just this.
No, I think it was $15-$20 each way.
Each way.
Yeah.
It's just this beautiful, serene, picturesque.
Yeah.
Excellent beach. There's, I believe, snorkeling.
There's some of the best snorkeling there. I saw jellyfish, or not jellyfish, squid. I saw squid while we were there, which was insane. I mean, they do not look like what I thought when they were swimming. You know, I've seen pictures, but I've never seen a live one. It was so cool. I thought it was an octopus at first.
Do you guys snorkel?
Yeah.
It's so fun, man.
Yeah.
See, you're like you guys probably do it. It's like you're in an aquarium. These tropical fish. It's just so fascinating, and the water is so saline, so salty in the Caribbean.
Buoyant, yeah.
It's just easy to float. You can just float around and have a snorkel mask on and just be in the ocean with the fish. It's super fun. So yeah. Anyway.
I also have sea turtles at Secret Beach.
Secret Beach, yeah, or Hidden Beach.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's
we'll
my
look that up
favorite
and
port.
leave a link in the comments as to which one it was specifically.
And what is your favorite port, Em?
You know, I think I have to say St. Thomas just because, and the Curtis family is asking about activities to do with kids, and I honestly feel like that is a good one because there's so many things that I think we'd probably go back to Secret Beach again if we go back to St. Thomas, but you can take this this gondola ride that goes like a ski lift that goes up to the top of the to the hill there that's in port, which we've talked about doing if we had extra time at the end of the day. We just haven't when we've been there. But that is really cool. You can go to, they have an aquarium on the other side of the island, which we did the first time we were there, and they have different activities there. We did a scuba dive, which was really awesome. So, and there's a beach over there that you can go snorkeling with. It's maybe a little bit more kid friendly. The secret harbor, the secret beach, that one is, it would be okay for kids, but it's like really a vast area. And so if your kids aren't confident swimmers, you know, it might be a little bit worrisome. But there's so many beaches to choose from on St. Thomas that I think you could find something that's like good for the abilities of your group. And then there's just the town area, which is fairly close to the port, has, you know, if you like the shopping and you just want to do some strolling around, some window shopping, there's some good opportunities there. So I just think it's St. Thomas is
St. Thomas is great. It's
island.
an all-around place.
Yeah.
And I agree. My favorite. Let's go back sometime soon.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Labadee. That is Labadee, I'm not sure. And that's another Royal Caribbean owned island off of Haiti, which recently...
Technically not an island, just a peninsula.
A peninsula off of Haiti. And it was closed down on a couple of... and then reopened and then closed down again because of unrest in Haiti, unfortunately. But I believe it's back open.
I think so.
I believe it's back open. But yeah, it is, I don't know... top 5 for sure.
That's my favorite private island.
Favorite private island, absolutely.
It's not as well developed as Perfect Day at CocoCay. I would say we've also been to Princess Key, and which we'll get to. I'd say it's maybe about the same level as far as development. Maybe actually a little bit more. It has more activities there. They have this alpine roller coaster, which. If you're brave, you should try it. It's really fun.
It's so good. It's super fun.
I thought I might die, but
have you guys ever been on an alpine roller coaster? Do you know what that is? There's no motor on the roller coaster. It's all done by just gravity.
The track like ratchets you up on a gear system up to the top of a big hill. And then there's just like a metal track, and it's individual cars. So everybody has their own little car that they go up, and you have a brake. Basically, you just have a brake on the car. That's all you have. And it's up to you if you want to like let her loose and just go down full speed or pull the brake. And we actually ended up getting an all-day pass. And the first time we went, I was like, I just want to take in the scenery. So I was going, not too fast, fairly slow, holding on the brake.
And because you were scared.
No. The second time though, I was like, I'm gonna not use the brake at all. I'm totally gonna go down. And I would have done it, but I was not, because I was scared. There was a little girl in front of me. I didn't want to hit her. It was totally
I like it better than regular roller coasters actually. So anyway, Labadee has that roller coaster. They also have great beach area. It's not quite as picturesque as CocoCay and some of the other really nice Caribbean beaches, but great day, great beach for swimming. They have a place where you can stop and get some food. I think that was where they had a little artisan area where you could get local.
Yeah, they did.
It's hard to sink more money.
I've never been, but I would.
The country is so unstable. Yeah, I didn't quite catch that. It's unfortunate that the country is so unstable, but man, it's a fun place to visit. I
have never been, but I would imagine it's hard to sink more money into Labadee while the country is so unstable.
Oh, as far as from Royal Caribbean's perspective.
That's and that's probably why the infrastructure is maybe not as good. But obviously CocoCay, I think CocoCay is closer to Florida as well.
Here's the thing,
So,
though.
yeah.
I actually like the fact that the infrastructure. It's not so much like going to an amusement park.
Yeah.
It's like it's a little bit of that, but it also has some natural appeal left to it. There's
Yeah.
hiking trails that kind of go right by the water, and so if you want to take
Yeah.
a hike, it's a really fun place. That's not just all man-made fun. It's just
Yeah.
some actual natural fun. So
And
yeah.
they actually also have
They have a zip line.
they do have a zip line, but
we didn't do the zip line.
no, but I was gonna say they also have in one of the beach areas they have like a artificial coral reef that they've dropped some seeded or whatever they call it when they plant that in the ocean, and it's really cool. Like you can see some pretty awesome fish. That's the first place that we had really good snorkeling, I think. So I have a fondness in my heart there. But the zip line is I think that's the zip line that at one point it's like the longest. Is it the longest over water stretch or something? I don't remember. I think it has some top something category in zip lines. And we didn't do it, but we watched it, and you can stand right there and watch the people go right over your head, and it's pretty crazy.
It is crazy.
I feel like they also had the option to do like the Superman version where you're going head first.
You guys went outside you went outside the boundaries? That's wild. That is,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think that people are going to receive you very well outside the boundaries. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the impression we got, so we didn't bother with
that's brave
that.
of
But
you.
yeah.
So yeah, the next one I want to talk about is Grand Turk. Another top 5. I think I might have more than 5 in my top 5. I don't know how that works, but Grand Turk is awesome. Have you guys been to Grand Turk? We love to snorkel, as you probably have figured out by now, just in this little conversation here. And I'm just going to give you a little tip right here. Get off the ship in Grand Turk, walk to your right, and then just walk down the beach for about 10 minutes. And there's a little like area that you have to go through where there's like there's a few trees coming up, and there's kind of a path that you have to weave through. A very beautiful area. And you'll come to this place where there's nobody else. There's conch shells all over the place. Giant conch shells all over the place on the beach. And you'll come to a coral reef area where you can snorkel. You only have to go out about, 20 yards. And you're in this coral reef that goes on for, a ways, a football field out there, and you can snorkel all day in this relatively shallow water. And then when you get out to a certain point, you have to go out fairly far, but not nearly as far as some places.
It looks really far, but the water is not super deep. Like you don't want to stand up in it because you have coral right underneath you. You shouldn't step on the coral. But like in a pinch, you're not going to drown. You could stand up.
You can stand up.
So,
You just don't want to step on a sea urchin.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's a big drop off. And one of the most stunning sights I've ever seen snorkeling in my life is this drop off where it's just like you can't see the bottom of it. All of a sudden, there's just this cliff. And at the edge of where that drop off in the coral is, there's fish that are like,
oh my gosh,
this.
so cool.
There's giant, tropical, beautiful, colorful, rainbow-colored fish. Just some absolutely stunning, and just like the contrast of where the coral ends and this big drop off and the fish, it's so good.
Yeah, and you get this vertigo actually when you go over there, and you get this vertigo and look over. It's like you're looking off a skyscraper, but you're not gonna fall. That's the thing, is you're floating in water. So
that last comment, I have to. That
yes,
resonates
and
with me.
love floating in water with my inflatable noodle with local rum cocktail in hand.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That
So
is awesome.
I love snorkeling days. I love hiking days, but I also love the days where I grab my noodle and
She called it a doodle.
A doodle. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. But grab my noodle.
Oh, inflatable noodle. Yeah, because that's what we got. Because we'd had the styrofoam ones when we go swimming here, but obviously you can't take.
I call it a drink and float,
Yep,
and it's
float.
just I'll be like, Emily, I want to have a drink and float today, and that's all. I'll sip some something, and
and if I'm feeling
we'll float.
super nice, I volunteer to be the one to blow up those inflatable noodles because it takes a little bit of air to blow those up.
Yeah, actually, we should mention what was the port with the shipwreck. That's also another top
we're
5.
getting. I have it written down on there. We're getting there. That was
shipwreck. Grand Cayman.
Yeah. And for you guys that are wondering, the place that we snorkeled on Grand Turk was called Boaby Rock. It's Boaby Rock. So if you want to look that up like on Google Maps or something to see exactly where we're talking about, I believe it's marked on there where the reefs are.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the other top 5 for me is Grand Cayman Islands. There's a shipwreck there, and it is not it is not a tourist. It's not an area that is prepared for people to go out there. It's
not in the least.
There's like construction. When we were there was construction on a giant. It's like right next to the city, and in the background there was construction going on this big
like
building,
a condo
building or something
yeah.
like that. But the ocean's right there, obviously,
but in order to get there, you had to like go between this construction site and this other place, like this narrow sidewalk that slid between the two commercial sites to get to the public access.
If you dig a little bit online when you get there, Grand Cayman, you can figure out directions on how to get there. But did we take a cab?
We ended up, it's walkable, but we were not entirely sure how to get there. So we ended up getting on, they have these buses that will just bus you down to I think it's like 7 Mile Beach or something like that. It's, is like the most common destination, and it's right on the way. So we just asked the bus driver, "Can you drop us off here?" And it was really nice because he knew exactly where it was. He dropped us off, and he said, "Okay, see that gap in the wall there? Just walk through there."
Yep, wasn't marked, wasn't obvious at all.
But we walked back. It wasn't a big deal to get back to port.
Yeah, it was like a mile or something.
Yeah, just about a mile.
You walk out there, and like I say, we were literally the only ones there.
Yeah.
But you look off, and just, I don't know, a little ways, once again, like 100 yards, like a football field out into the ocean.
Really close.
You can see the outline of the top of this ship that sunk.
Yeah.
And it sunk obviously pretty close to the shore. So just the tips of it are kind of sticking out the top. But you can, and you have to be super careful because there's sea urchins in the water, but... And there's coral there, but there's like obviously a little area where the ocean starts, and you can just carefully get out there, put on your snorkel mask, and then swim out to this shipwreck. And it's like the shows you see on the National Geographic. All of a sudden, you're literally snorkeling in this boat, and you're looking at like
so cool.
It is so unbelievable, and it like seriously looks just like what it looks like on National Geographic when you watch the shows. And there's tropical fish, and I saw a lobster. There's a lot of I saw a bunch of flounder.
Yeah, we saw flounder I don't remember if we'd seen those before, but so flounder, side note here, are so cool on fish. I mean, they taste good too, and I feel kind of bad now, but they do taste good. But flounder are born just like a normal fish with an eye on each side of its head. But as they grow and develop, one eye literally migrates to the other side, like it moves to the other side, and then they swim around flat, and they've got, their two eyes poking up here, and they swim around flat.
They're weird. They're weird looking fish. They're a completely different color, but they look kind of like a manta ray on the floor of the ocean.
Yeah, because of how they just kind of vacuum along there.
So cool. Amazing experience. And another cool thing about that experience is that it's not just waiting in line to do something like you do at a lot of tourist destinations.
Yeah.
Sounds like the Little Mermaid crew was there.
Yeah. Sebastian the crab and
Flounder.
From
the cast
of
the
funny
Mermaid.
thing is
I think we were talking about the Little Mermaid.
That.
That's so funny.
And he is named Flounder, but he doesn't, I guess he is a baby flounder, so his eyes haven't migrated yet, because that is not what flounders actually look like, at least not those flounders. But the other thing is they had, if you just wanted to walk from the port, there's a lot of little coves that you can go to and you can snorkel. And one of the big things at Grand Turk is they had, was it barracuda? I think they had barracuda that you could swim with.
They did, yeah. That was like swim with the barracuda, wasn't it? Yeah.
And that's another thing you can just do it on your own. You can just get in there, and on those sections they actually have areas.
It's Grand Cayman, not Grand.
Oh, you're right, Grand Cayman. Yeah. In those areas, they'll have like restaurants by the water, and a nice thing to do would be to eat at that restaurant, but you can go out on the restaurant's dock and climb down their ladder and to get into the water there. So if you want to do the swim with the barracuda thing. Yeah. So yeah, lots of options there.
So I just want to open this up. We can still keep talking ports here, and man, it's making me want to get on a cruise ship. But If you guys want to ask questions about tipping, we've been doing a lot of talking about cruise ship tipping and automatic
Yes.
gratuities and that kind of stuff. We'd be happy to talk about that. If you want to talk about, we're celebrating our 10,000 subscribers milestone here. If you
Yeah.
want to talk about YouTube videos and how we make them, or any of
How
that
we get
kind
our
of
ideas.
all that kind of stuff, we'd be happy to talk about that. Or if you want to talk about cruise ports, we'd be happy to talk about that too. So I just want to open it up. Feel free to ask questions. What was the question about tipping a little bit?
Oh yeah. Okay. So, Phil Pugli said, like the video about tipping, we don't go to restaurants and tip dishwashers and cooks and custodial staff. Anyway, enjoying your talk about ports. That's nice, and that's exactly our point about tipping. Is it's so different on a cruise ship, and Joe and I we've been taking a lot of cruises, obviously, and we think about this kind of thing, and we just did a little bit more digging into it, and honestly, I had no idea how exactly those automatic gratuities get distributed, and it's a little disenchanting, I think, when you realize that they're not necessarily going to supplement the crew's wages. So
Yeah.
It just was something that we felt was interesting and worth sharing with other people. Whether you just choose to continue to do the daily tips or choose to tip cash, you should choose that being as informed as you can, is kind of my deal.
The concept of tipping has been warped. The concept of tipping used to be you tipped because somebody gave you particularly good service, and now it's kind of turned into you tip because it's expected. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so we just
like
just
you
wanted
are
to bring it
morally
to people's
obliged
attention.
to. Yeah.
We didn't know that so many people felt
We had
this.
no idea.
So, and it's interesting because a lot of people seem to feel the same way that we do, and the tipping in America in general, let alone cruise ships, is just like out of control. But it's also interesting to see the people on the other side, and usually I like where their heart is, because a lot of times people are just defending the workers and saying they deserve this money, and I totally agree.
I think everybody pretty much everybody in the comments, it's like they're wanting to do the right thing. They're wanting to reward the people that deserve it.
Yeah.
It's just the debate is really just how are you doing that?
In this case, why is the cruise line the cruise line gets to put more money in their pocket because they're counting on all the passengers to tip, not even just the front-facing people, but also the back-end people and everybody else. So our argument is simply, why wouldn't the cruise line pay their employees a little bit more and let tipping be what it actually is? And
Everywhere
so
else, yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, what did
The Curtis family said, who had the idea to start the channel? How did it come about? I think you should answer that one.
I think probably I instigated the channel, and Emily and I had a business that we sold, and we decided to do some traveling around the world. It was a dream of ours forever. And we started the channel actually when we were traveling in Thailand and Vietnam, in Southeast Asia. And we had no idea how to make videos. We had still don't have any idea how to make videos. We're just working it out. But it was something I wanted to do. I was interested in video editing. I was aware that YouTube and mostly YouTube, but other social media had potential, is what I'll say. I'm taking forever to say that. And so we just started making videos. I wanted to figure out editing. I wanted to figure out sound. I wanted to figure out a lot, just how everything worked with the video making, and I thought it was really fun. So we just started making videos in Southeast Asia. They got a little bit of attention, but we ended up going on a Disney cruise, and then right after that Disney cruise, we got onto a Princess cruise ship and cruised to South America, and then did a couple of months in South America. And what we noticed was when we got on the cruises, our content got a lot more attention.
Yeah.
And so
exponentially more
attention. And so we thought, wow, apparently either we, I think the right people were seeing our content when it was cruise related. And we love talking about cruises. And cruising is a very interesting thing. A lot of people are interested in it. Cruise ships are fascinating. They're engineering marvels, and the things that the ways that they try to entertain people, and the whole ecosystem that works around cruising is obviously captures a lot of people's attention, and so it was something that we thought we could make a lot of videos about. I'm going on about it too much, but
And
it was just an
so
interesting
many,
subject.
Yeah, there's so many different aspects to cruising too. It's like, how does the economy of crew pay and all that work? How does going to ports work? Once you get on the cruise ship, you're going to these ports. How does that work out? Like, how do you optimize your stateroom? How do you decide, if you want to buy the drink package? There's all these different avenues of things and Joe and I both enjoy researching things and kind of doing deeper dives. So, it's been a fun journey. So, but let's see. Donna Poog said, LOL, great commentary on tipping and understand the logic on why you guys chose to delegate tips. I am still old school and will continue to leave auto gratuities on Folio, but
nothing wrong with
tip
that
as well. And that's, it's just such a personal decision. And I think just respecting everybody's decision is the important thing. Have you been to the Mexican Riviera? Just got off the Panorama. The ship was okay, but the ports were great. Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, La Paz, and Cabo, very walkable and always felt safe. Somebody else was just mentioning Cabo in one of our comments and made me really want to go there. But
we were thinking about it. We have not been there. Not been there. So thanks for the recommendation. That's maybe somewhere we'll book.
We've done, on the Mexican ports, we've done...
Cozumel
and Puerto Maya.
We did Ensenada.
And Ensenada on the west side. Yeah. Cozumel was fun. We didn't talk about that yet. Maybe we'll get back to that one.
Yeah.
But the Curtis family says, what's one thing you both would like to see on a cruise ship that is yet to be on a ship? More jazz music.
That's on some ships, but
it's on some ships.
I will say I don't know if this is feasible or not, but something that I think would be really cool, and I saw a concept picture of this once, but what if the ship, and this might sound dumb, maybe I'm dumb, I don't know, but what if the ship anchored just like, in the ocean where it was calm, and there was a platform like on just above the water, where you could go out and they would have sun loungers out there with the ship just kind of anchored and parked, and maybe they could have like little raft things. What are those?
Paddle boats.
Paddle boats.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could put on a life jacket and swim.
I think they do actually have that on some of the really high-end luxury cruise ships.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't remember which one it was because I did that video on the luxury cruise ships that were being launched in 2025, and I remember one of them specifically had one of those, and I can't remember what they called it, but it was just a platform that when they were sitting in the ocean, they could roll that
go out and just to like jump in.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
That looked really neat. And I think that when you go on like vacations to go, which we use to book our cruises a lot, you can see the checklist of what each cruise ship has, and they have I can't remember what they call it now, like a sports deck or a water sports deck or something like that. But they have a slot where they can check that off. And
Curtis' family said that he wishes they had a helicopter. It looks like what was
a helicopter. Oh, let me see. Wish they had a helicopter on one of the ships. They did a helicopter tour while the ship was. Oh, that would be actually really cool. And they have a helipad.
Like take off from the helipad and over the ocean. That would be that'd be fun.
Yeah, especially if you're cruising where there's whales, right? So you could look out and see the whale pods. That would be really neat.
Yeah.
But Great 8 said, do you have a preferred cruise line, or is it mostly cost or port driven? I'd say we have a favorite, or I have cruise lines that I enjoy more than others.
Yeah.
But mostly when we make our decisions, I'd say it's cost and port driven. Like we want to go to new places, so we ended up doing a series of cruises where we went to Nassau on each of the itineraries, and that was we were really reluctant on that, and I don't know if we would do that again.
Yeah.
Actually, especially not Nassau.
So to answer your question, you kind of nailed it. Cost definitely comes into play. Otherwise, we'd be booked on the Star of the Seas when it when it takes off here.
I don't know. Of the cruise lines we've been on, do you have a favorite?
Man, there.
I mean, I really enjoy Princess, but I like some things about Carnival too.
Exactly.
MSC I don't think gets to be ranked as my favorite, but it wasn't terrible. It's not my favorite.
I have a hard time like listing one. I guess if I had to, I'd say Carnival, but not. That's the cruise line we've been on the most, and some of them have been better than others. Some of the cruises have been so like I'd have to like take it into an individual cruise rather than like the whole cruise line.
And it really, the ship by ship, it really varies too.
It does.
So I mean, you're gonna have a completely different experience on the Star of the Seas versus if you go on the Grandeur of the Seas, one of the older ships.
Yeah. So yeah, but man, every cruise line has its own pros and cons, obviously. But holding me down, I have to say Carnival.
Yeah, I'd say it's interesting that, in my opinion, what it seems like to me is that cruise lines have become more and more streamlined over the years. So, you know, now, just taking Carnival for example, when you go on a Carnival ship, all but one of them have a Guy's Burgers. All but most of them, I think maybe two, have a blue iguana for tacos. You can expect to have like certain categories of things. You can expect, and it's the same thing with Royal Caribbean. You can expect, you know, the Sorrento's Pizza. You can expect the Cafe Promenade. You know, there's certain features of each cruise ship that you'll find on every one. And I feel like the older ships, or like, I mean, the ships have now been like revamped to incorporate this, but I feel like in prior years, you know, like 20, 30 years ago when you were cruising, each ship was really a unique, different thing. And I mean, right now, you know, the Star of the Seas is about to launch, but if you've been on the Icon of the Seas, like how excited are you to go on the Star of the Seas? They seem very similar.
Very similar.
So
I'd still like to be on.
I mean, I would be happy to go on either one, but if we're giving out free cruises, but I don't think so. Should we talk about we could talk about our Cozumel port because we didn't get to that one.
Hello, Embrace today. Hey, how are you?
Hello.
We booked the Star of the Seas for next June. I am jealous, Curtis family. That's awesome.
That's gonna be fun.
And
be a cool cruise. I believe he was asking about things to do with families, or with kids. So I'm guessing you have some kids that are going to be going on the cruise with you, and that going on the Star of the Seas with a group that includes kids that are, I mean, like some of the stuff that's on there, it just seems like it's going to bring out the excitement and the magic for the kids, and that's just so fun to watch, you know. And personally, I get in on it too and act like a child, but like they have a carousel on there. I would totally be on the carousel.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Cool. I think that so last time we talked, somebody 8-year-old or 4-year-old, awesome.
8-year-old, 4-year-old, yeah. I think that would be a great age to cruise.
It would.
Much. I mean, there's so many fun things to explore.
At that age,
everything is fun.
Everything's fun, and a cruise ship is like just.
I'm sure there's
candy.
meltdowns sometimes, but
it's probably, except for the bad.
Just
moments,
because of getting overstimulated and having so many things you want to do at once. But
yeah, we are actually, our next cruise is like 2.5 months away now, maybe even a little bit less than that. And we are going to do our first transatlantic cruise, and we're going to go from Seattle to Australia. Are you guys going to the ABC Islands 79 on Carnival Horizon? No, Carnival Horizon was, we did that 2 cruises ago, and is the ABC Islands where we went to Ocho, Rios? And
we didn't do the ABC Islands.
Wasn't the ABC Islands, but we were on the Horizon.
You said it was your favorite of, we did a whole series of cruises, and the Horizon was the last one, and Joe, that was his favorite. It was my favorite cruise. Series of ports.
And part of the reason is the ship. Part of the reason was, of course, the ports. Everything always comes into play on a cruise, and you know the weather. The weather was good.
Yeah.
And like that can make a big difference in your cruise experience. But the Horizon. So it sounds like whoever just gave us that comment is going to be Donna is going to be on the Horizon. I don't know if you've been on that ship, Donna, but it's great. It's
you just did your whole tips video on the Horizon.
Yeah,
what are your favorite tips from that?
I've got a ship tour and a tips video that you should check out on our channel. And if you haven't, And the horizon has the horizon is it's not it's a mid-sized ship. It's not one of the little ships. It's not one of the mega ships. It is somewhere in between, and that is my favorite size ship because, like, on the mega ships, like right now, I'm working on. Soon, you guys are going to be seeing our review of the Mardi Gras, the Carnival Mardi Gras, and I was that ship. Sometimes when you're walking down the corridors, you're in a sea of people. You're in a sea of people, and it's really crowded. The ship's big enough for all the people, but there's certain main corridor areas where it's just like you have to stop and wait for 10 people to walk by before you can walk across a hallway. So it's just like a lot of traffic. But like on a ship like the Horizon, the way that they have it set up is it's just a little bit more spread out. You don't feel quite as confined or crowded when you're walking around. You're still seeing all the good people on the ship, but it's not quite as congested. And also like the Dreamscape big LED screen that they have screen on the Horizon and
really
on the
cool.
Vista is really cool. Just the vibe of it's really great. It's at least for Emily and I think that size ship and that vibe is what we really like when we cruise.
Yeah.
So anyway, enjoy the Horizon.
Yeah, and they have an IMAX theater, so if you are,
That's right.
like, oh, I just want to chill for a while and do something inside, the IMAX theater is, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to watch a movie on a ship. A couple of the movies are in 3D.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a cool concept.
And the Curtis family asked, have you done any videos on the advantages of staying on the ship when you're at port, if any? So we haven't. We actually just did a video on how to have the best day in a Caribbean port. So like what to do to maximize your time in a Caribbean when you're going out to port. Kind of doing the reverse and talking about what you can do on the ship. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think really the advantages are that you can do everything on the ship, whatever the ship offers, especially the pools and the hot tubs, with less people. And so you're going to be able to have access.
Yeah, and another thing I would say is if you like doing the extra activities that are on the top deck, so like the sports court area, the ropes course, the roller coaster, the water slide. Sometimes when you're at sea, they close those activities, and when you're at port, there was the one time where there was like hurricane force winds when we were in port that they closed them. But otherwise, every time you're in port, they have those activities open. And like I did the sky ride, the little bicycle ride that goes around on, I think that's on the Horizon in the Vista.
Yeah.
I think that's so I did that when we were in port, and you go around the ship, and then you're like way up, you're as high as you can be on the ship, and you can see out into the port. It's like a really stunning view. It's a really fun view, and you're also experiencing an activity that's on the ship, and there's less lines to do it and all that. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's
There
definitely
are
advantages
of staying on the ship. And so, yeah, if you've been to Nassau 5 times, stay on the ship and soak it in. Or if, like you're traveling with children, it sounds like, if you just want some family time and family time where not everybody else is going to be there, I think there is definitely advantages to staying on the ship. You know, you don't want to miss out on if you're going somewhere you've never been before, you don't want to miss out on that, though, right? I mean, that's part of the adventure. So I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, but even just, if you're like, oh, I haven't been here, I just want to check it out. You can, in a lot of ports, you could just go out for 2 or 3 hours, come back on the ship. You've at least gotten to experience it a bit. So, the bicycle ride is crazy stretch before you do it. I agree, actually. And, it's kind of weird because when I did it, at least, the resistance, well, first of all, I've never ridden a recumbent bike before, and I think it's most similar to a recumbent bike. So it was something kind of unique. It's not exactly like riding a normal bicycle, but then the resistance on the gears is very small, I would say. Like there's no shifting gears or anything. So the only way you can go faster is to pedal faster. So if you want to go fast, it's like it's a very cardio workout for sure too. Curtis family says maybe explore a little bit and then come back early. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and especially like if you plan to come back, maybe before lunch ends, anyways. Then you can still come back and get the food on the ship, not have to worry about trying to find somewhere to eat out in port. Because it is fun to experience the new food and a different food culture, but sometimes it's just I don't know, exhausting to try to find somewhere decent to eat. And
a lot of
yeah.
times it's really overpriced and
Yeah.
sometimes disappointing. Yeah. So, but worth it if there's something that
Yeah.
stands out for sure.
Yeah.
Pros and cons to everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are coming up on an hour, but I do wanna make it to an hour. So, what else can we comment on? Any more questions from you guys?
Well,
we are so glad to have.
I have a question. I'll pretend like I'm
Okay.
asking a comment. What is the craziest thing you've ever done in port?
Like as an excursion or just in general?
Yeah, like
I know what yours is. You should answer that question. You do
What?
the crazier things.
jumping off the.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That was the crazy thing.
So
You
we can
did
talk
jump
about
a little bit, but
I
you jumped one of them.
I jumped two of them. I jumped
Two of them, yeah.
So in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, which is a port that was on my list, but we didn't quite get to. That's top 5 for sure. So yeah, Ocho Rios was great. Once again, I've heard other people say that's one where we stay on the ship. I don't know why you'd stay on the ship. Ocho Rios was so good.
Yeah.
And the Jamaican people were really cool, and
Yeah.
we learned a lot about the culture. Fun trip, and we actually did an excursion on this one where we went to the Blue Hole, it's called.
Yeah.
Where they have this hike they take you on through some of the most unbelievable nature you've ever seen there. And you end up jumping off of, was it 3 or 4? 3 or 4 waterfalls. So you're literally jumping off of these waterfalls that are of varying heights into these beautiful pools of natural water. It's like this whole hill that comes down that you just keep jumping off these waterfalls. And then the last one you jump off of is not a waterfall. It is like a cement sidewalk that just ends.
Yeah, it's kind of like a high dive, but not with the springy board. But
Exactly,
yeah.
and it's a big jump into the pool.
So
and
it would have been at least 20 feet,
and
right?
these Rasta guys with giant dreadlocks who are in perfect shape are like holding your hand and walking you through this whole thing, and they're like, okay man, jump,
Jump on, jump.
and I got up there and I jumped in and I had been getting water up my nose and then like water in my throat. I was like coughing when I was coming up. I was like, I don't want to drown, so I didn't do it. I wussed out. But Emily, being the brave, spry young person that she is, tell them about it.
Yeah, so I jumped off of it, and it was crazy. I stood there, and I was like trying to gear myself up, and the guy, he watches probably like 100 people jump off every day just in his groups, and he's like, "You're gonna jump, come on, 1, 2, 3." I was like, I can't do it. He's like, "Come on 3." Counted me down again, and I jumped on 4. But so I jumped off. It was insane. It was like,
And then she ran back up. And
I didn't run back up, so you had to go, and I was just following the guy in front of me, and so I swam to the left and climbed back up, and he was like...
You looked at me, and you said, I'm never
doing that again.
And then she walked over and did it again. It was...
Well, then he said, well, we have to go back that way, so I was supposed to swim the other way. He's like, so you can either jump off or you can go along the cliff. I didn't really want to go along the cliff again, so I was like, fine, I'll just jump again. And FYI, then I had back pain for like the next 3 days, so it was maybe not the best idea, but it was worth it.
It was worth it.
But then we both did the very last thing at the end. They had like a trapeze swing. Remember that at the very end?
Oh yeah, you hold on to a zip line basically.
Basically, yeah.
And you go down and you let go halfway and you fall into the water. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was a fun excursion.
Blue Hole. If you guys liked a little bit of excitement and adrenaline in your adventure in Ocho Rios, check it out. It is really fun.
So the Curtis family says, which port when you got there were you the most disappointed in, and which port that you got to, or were you the most shocked when you arrived? Were you the most disappointed?
Well, I think Nassau is probably the most disappointed for sure.
Yeah, because every time we went there was kind of like...
Which was the one with the winds? Costa Maya?
No, it wasn't Costa... It was... Look at that list again. I can't remember. What was it?
It doesn't matter that much, but... There was... What was the one
Mahogany Bay.
The one where you can't leave the...
Puerto Mayo. That one actually was really disappointed.
Yeah.
So we got to Puerto Mayo and Puerto Maya, and we had thought, well, we'll just walk out of the port area and explore just a little bit. Just walk along. I mean, even if there's nothing to do, we like walking along, like we've said. And we walked if you've ever been to Puerto Maya, it's like there's it's like a port area, and there's walls around, and then built on the walls on the inside of this area, there's Diamonds International, duty free store, all the cliche port shops.
Yep.
And
this place also has a pool.
Yeah.
Kind of like Amber Cove and
not as big, though.
Puerto Plata, but not as big. It's dirty looking.
Yeah, it's really dirty.
It's just really undesirable. I didn't even want to get in it. It like wasn't a good place for a drink and float. So
no,
yeah.
It was not. But so we walked all the way around the perimeter looking for the way to get out, and we couldn't find it. So we started walking around all the way around it again, and finally we asked somebody, and there's like this door that says "Do not exit," and he's like, "Oh, you just go out through that door," and we're like, "But it says
do not exit,
it says do not exit, or like employees only, or something like prohibited, something like that. I can't remember exactly." And he said, "Oh, it's okay, it's Mexico." I don't know what that meant. Does it mean that in Mexico you don't have to follow the rules?
It was so
not really
to answer
sure.
your question, it was just a disappointing place because we wanted to like see the actual town, but it was a resort area that just wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was
Anyway.
I mean, and there were some cool things. If we were just passing through, like they had those the people that climbed up the pole
That's
and
where they
then
had
flew
the
around.
pole people?
Yeah. And that was really neat. Like it was this cultural experience, and that was cool. And then they had flamingos.
Have you guys seen that? The guys that climb up this pole and they wrap like flags around their bodies, or what were those?
Well, they wrap
called?
ropes around their body, and then they're holding flags, and then they wrap it
spin
around their
around.
body in a particular way, and then they like dive off and slowly unravel the rope, so they slowly are going.
So there's
towards
these
the
guys that
ground.
are way up in the air, spinning around with ropes attached to them. Yeah, check it out if you go to there. That was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So what was the rest of the question?
I think just that what was the most disappointed in, or which was the most shocked. I've only seen the videos of that. Yeah.
The flyers. Yeah.
Valdaderos.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the most disappointed or most shocked. I would say Puerto Mayo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you are going to Puerto Maya, that would be the one port I would most recommend having a shore excursion. If you want to do a shore excursion, have it booked in advance. Already have it planned out. Don't just try to fly.
Or if you're out having a family cruise, maybe just come down there for a half hour and then stay on the ship for the rest of the day.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a good one, just to explore. Just realize you're going to spend an hour or two exploring, walking around. And they did have dolphins there, which was kind of cool.
They did, and they had the pink flamingos.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I mean, it's worth a walk around.
Yeah.
But
cruising, what a great thing, right? We can all agree on that. So anyway, guys, I think we're going to wrap up this live stream. It was fun to talk about Caribbean ports with you.
Thanks
Go
for all
down
your
memory
questions.
lane and get inspired to book that next cruise for sure. So thank you for 10,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching this live stream, and we will talk to you guys again soon.